Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff. Bowie keeps it a buck. And today we're going to be talking about the NBA. We're going to be talking about the ratings dip that's been happening in the NBA right now. We're going to be talking about what could be causing it. We're going to be talking about possible solutions as well. All right, so I got the whole crew with me today. Got Kurt. What's going on, brother?
You already know I'm happy to be here. You know, I got the hood on. When I put the hood on, I put the hood on. What it do?
A- Absolutely. And of course, I got my brother Stan. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? We here. I'm up. I'm here. I'm alive. Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. All right, so there's a lot to get to with this, man. So we're just going to dive right in. I'm just going to give some quick points here just to kind of get it moving here. Um, as of right now, the NBA's ratings, when you go across TNT, ESPN, and ABC, comparably to like last year around the same time, we're looking at like a 17% decrease in ratings. If you add in NBA TV, which obviously like, everybody doesn't have NBA TV, but if you add in the NBA TV games, we're talking about a 25% dip. Now, a point that I do think is important as
Wow.
well is that men's college basketball is also down about 21%. The NHL is down about 28%. Um, and women's college basketball is down about 38%, which to be expected because I mean Caitlin Clark obviously was the driving ratings force there. So it's to be expected to be a dip. I think
That is
those
a
will come
reach.
back up. Yeah, I think women's college basketball and men's college basketball is going to come up around like February, like it always does. Um, but just want to make those points. So I'm going to start with Kurt on this one. What do you think, man? What do you think is the cause of this dip in ratings right now?
I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. There's a couple reasons. I think the first reason is we're tired of seeing the same old stuff from every team. I'm gonna just give you a basketball reason. Um, I remember when we was coming up, you had Portland running motion. You had Sacramento shooting shots and spread for Chris Webber. Then you had the Lakers running the triangle. Then you had the Spurs with the ball movement and motion. Like when you watch different teams, it was different identities. The matchups was that's what made the matchups, right? You had the Lakers with the slow triangle. Sacramento want to get out there and run. You know what I mean? You had San Antonio who want to slow it down. You had the Mavericks who want to get out there and run. And then it created like this competition. You know what I mean? It was like who game plan is better. When you look at it now, everybody doing the same thing. I pick and roll, shoot threes, back door cuts. That's what the game has become for everybody. And when all else fails, let your star player ISO where you want the ball. There's very few motion, very few high-low screens between two big men. You don't see that no more. Remember the power forward flash to the top to feed the big man down bottom. You don't even see that type of stuff no more. It's just like all pick and roll, run, shoot. Guys aren't playing hard. Like I mean, I like watching Orlando. You know, Reggie, that's your team because they actually try to play defense. Like teams aren't even trying to play defense. Um, the calls are so inconsistent. You know, it's just getting to the point that a lot of the vices that we've been arguing about, like the last 5 years, 5 to 6 years, the NBA has done nothing to improve it. And it's almost like fans saying, if you're gonna give me a garbage product, we're gonna treat it like a garbage product. And they haven't been supporting it as much because it's bad basketball, man. I'm sorry, just from a basketball point of view, it's bad basketball. You got some great players with great talent, but it's bad basketball. And then on top of that, like the world has changed, man. The world has changed, man. Like it's a lot of like video games. You know, like people just aren't as interested in basketball. It's way more entertaining things going on, like with the internet and it's 82 games. So if I listen, I can if I miss 4 games of the Ravens, I've missed a quarter of their season. You know, out of 17 games. bro, I can miss 17 NBA games and it not be a quarter of the season. You know what I mean? So when you put that with the bad basketball, and plus what like what's going on, like as far as us as people with like so many different ways to entertain ourselves, and basketball isn't as important as it once was. It is to the basketball fans, like people that's not a fan of fights will watch a tank fight with everybody. Like you don't have to be a fan of boxing to enjoy a good tank fight. People that don't even watch football will get together on Sundays and watch football with football fans. Basketball fans, bro, we by ourselves, bro. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a game every day. Who cares if they miss a game? So when you mix all of those three components, the bad basketball with the entertainment value of the entire world, and the fact that there's so much other stuff to do in this world, um, it's just it's just and the NBA hasn't done anything to improve what the fans ask upon. So when you put all of that together, that's probably that, in my opinion, what I believe the 25% decrease has come from.
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a lot to what you said there, and I agree with a lot of it. The one thing I would say though is that like a lot of the stuff you said was still the case a few years ago. Like if you go back, you know, prior to the bubble, like the ratings were solid. They were solid ratings, especially if you go back and look at like because another component to this, because this isn't just didn't just start this year. The ratings have been like declining for a little while here. But pre-bubble, like if you look at like the NBA finals ratings, like they were good. Like they were damn good. Like those Cavaliers and Golden State finals, like those, the ratings were good. They were very good ratings, but in the last couple of years, they've just gone down. Um, and like
In the
if you
bubble
look at
year, though,
yeah, go ahead.
if you look at the bubble year, look who was in the finals. You see what I'm saying?
But
Like,
but but the
like
ratings for
the
the bubble
world is not
the ratings for the bubble year weren't good
good.
either though. And the Lakers were in it, and the ratings weren't good for that.
That oh really? You said I thought you were
No,
saying the bubble year was
I was
good. I
saying
thought you were saying
before.
they
I'm saying before the bubble years. So like I'm just gonna pull it up real
oh
quick.
oh
That was
okay
yeah.
15.
So that was
What?
2020 with the bubble with the Lakers and the Heat,
2020.
and I mean you're looking at 4.0,
Oh,
4.1,
you said before the bubble.
3.1, 4.4, 4.8. And if you go before that, the year before that, which was 2019, 8 8.8, 7.9, 8.0, 7.8, 7.6, 10.6, 10.7. That's a drastic drop. Like that's
And, and,
drastic.
and think about it though, Reg. Like I was saying, like it's too many. It's too many things to do. Think about how much the world has advanced since
Mhm.
2018, 2019. Like it's so much stuff going on out here. Like like the Heat. Remember LeBron James and them? Like they still wasn't selling out arenas because it's so much popping in Miami. And
Right.
you get a 42 games at home with the Heat. So we'll get one of them eventually, right?
I agree. I
And
agree.
that's
But that's
and with the entertainment, with these video games and movies and these TV shows streaming. And a lot of people are watching the NBA illegally.
that's true.
There's so many ways to pirate, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it's a lot to go into it. But I think the
Yeah.
big reason is that it's a bad brand of basketball, and the true NBA fans that would normally stand up are like, I'll wait to the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree, 1,000% agree with you. I think that there's a lot of factors here. I think that what you said, there's definitely a lot there. I think something I would add to that is just, sometimes like when a narrative gets painted, the narrative just sticks, even if it isn't completely factual. So you take a look at like this load management thing. And I'm not saying that load management isn't still an issue, but like I don't think it's as big of a problem as people portray it. Like there's only a couple of people that really would, even when it was a thing, there's only a couple people that was really doing it. And like right now, like
Right.
I feel like Joel Embiid is like the person everybody's like pointing their finger to about this. But Joel Embiid is actually hurt. Like he has a knee issue. Like he's not low man. He has an actual knee issue. I mean, Joel Embiid in the playoffs last year, like, are we not going to say this dude was playing through pain? Like he was playing through the knee injury. The dude
Definitely did.
had cerebral palsy. He had the Jim Ross going on with his face, and he was still out there playing. So we can't sit here and act like Joel Embiid's not playing through stuff. He was. Like he has a knee issue
Was.
right now. Even like Kawhi Leonard,
And he's
like
a
he's
7
another,
footer.
and he's a 7 footer. You look at Kawhi Leonard. That's another guy that everybody's kind of pointing their finger at right now. Kawhi Leonard is hurt. Like if he could be playing, he would be playing. He's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the load management thing was more so what was happening. Greg Popovich started it. Like he was just resting guys just to rest them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's when it started, and I do feel like that's been a thing for a couple of guys. It's been a handful of people that this is a thing, but it doesn't matter, man. When you rest 3-4 guys in a national TV game, your fans are going to look at you funny.
Mm-hmm.
The fans that paid for the ticket going to look at you funny. The people who's taking their time to watch it on TV when, like you said, there's a lot of other things to do with their time, and they're taking the time to watch your game, and three of the best players aren't playing, not because they're hurt, just because they're tired. They don't feel like playing. So I think that's a big part of
And
it. I
then the
think
players that are playing, and then the players that are playing, they only just want to show a bag and shoot threes. It ain't no competitive
I
nature.
agree.
There's no
Yes.
fire.
I agree. The 3-point shot is a huge issue. You know, it's funny. I saw a stat. I'm gonna come to you in a second, Stan. But I saw a stat that was talking about Golden State. If you go back to Golden State, the last year, not the last year, but the year they won a champ. The last year they won a championship with Kevin Durant on the team, and I think they said that they
Okay.
shot around like 32, 33 threes a game. And they were saying that today would be last in the NBA. That's like insane.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? I mean,
That's crazy.
Boston shot like 50 threes the other night. Like that's just ridiculous, man. So I agree. I think the threes are a problem. It's just people are just firing threes, and like you said, there's no variety. It'd be one thing if Boston was shooting all them threes, but their opponent was like, "Oh, all right, y'all do that. We doing this." You know what I'm saying? It would be more
Right.
entertaining if there was a couple teams that just hurled threes and a couple teams that didn't. It was like, all right, cool, boom, let's do it. But like even my team, Orlando, we're a horrible 3-point shooting team. They were just letting them fly. I'm like, yo, how many times are y'all gonna keep shooting this shot when it's not going into the basket? Like at some point, it's like, all right, we got to try something else. So I agree. The 3-point shooting is definitely an issue. We maybe can get to how to fix it later, possibly. But before we do that, I want to bring Stan in. Stan, what are you thinking? Like when we look at these ratings, what do you think is like the problem here?
I think more so. First of all, let me get something out the gate. First of all, TV ratings do not matter as much as they used to because of the way that the people watch TV nowadays. There's a million different ways to watch TV today. Streaming, pirating, all this other stuff. So, and the NBA just signed a $75 million TV rights deal, and the ratings have been decreasing probably for the last 2 decades. If you look at where the league was TV ratings, TV viewership wise back in the '90s, everything is down. So it's not just the NBA, as you just pointed out, Reggie. Everything is down right now. Hockey, of course, everything but the NFL. The NFL has a lot to do with a lot of this stuff too, because the NFL is the number one TV product in the world right now. It's killing everything. And the NFL wants to run games every fucking day now. It's killing everything. The NFL is running 2 games today. The NFL is running games tomorrow. The NFL is winning games on Christmas. They're running games on Black Friday. So the NFL has a lot to do with all this stuff. But really, with this conversation is more so a state of the NBA conversation.
Okay.
The NBA, if you, again, I am a very deep historian with the NBA because I've studied this stuff for a lot of time. Because if you remember when I was in high school, I did like a 10-page report on the NBA history of the NBA. So I had to read all these books and study the history. And I've watched documentaries. I am huge on the history of the NBA. And the history of the NBA has stated this is nothing new. How many times have we had the NBA is in trouble conversations over the last 25, 30 years? Happens almost every 3 or 4 years. So I'm not concerned about the TV ratings as much as I'm concerned about the state of the game. The state of the game right now is
Mm.
not great. It's not great. And like Kurt pointed out about the sameness, there's a sameness to a lot of teams in the league right now. There's a sameness to the play. Well, we was like you said, when we was growing up with the '90s, which was the golden era of the NBA, the '85 to 98 range was the first golden age of the league. It was the most talent-ridden, superstar-driven time in the league. Obviously, Jordan, the Bulls, the Magic and Bird stuff, the Magic and Bird rivalry merged into Jordan, and out of Jordan, we have all these great superstars. The one thing about that time was teams played differently. You had, like you said, the Bulls had their triangle. The Lakers had the triangle when Phil went to the Lakers. You know, teams, the Suns of the mid 2000s had the 7 seconds or less. The Spurs played this way.
Mm-hmm.
They funneled, teams played differently. Nowadays, everybody plays the fucking same. Boston, the defending NBA champion Boston Celtics average 51.3 3-pointers attempted per game. 51 a game. They're the defending
51
world
three
champions.
a game.
The 3-pointers is a problem, and you're starting to hear people talk about it. I think LeBron said something the other day about it when he was asked about the All-Star game. And LeBron was saying the same thing. He's like, man, there's something wrong with our game, man. There's too many fucking threes being taken right now. That is a problem with the game. So, like, I would talk more about the state of the game right now and where that is affecting viewership. The reality is the NBA has devalued the regular season over the last 10 years, and now they're trying to do things to get people to care about the regular season, and it's like, why? I can watch the fourth quarter of any close game on the NBA app with League Pass. League Pass plays a role in this too because now League Pass is mobile, so I can watch games on my phone. That's what I do because I work at night. You know what I'm saying? So I follow the Lakers through the League Pass app, through the NBA app. So I'm watching fourth quarters of these games on the app. I'm not watching it on TV. I
Mm.
think the interest in the league is still very high. The league's interest is high, and it's also this is an American problem. This is not an international problem. The league is doing very well internationally. This is an American problem because here in America, people, while there's interest in the league, they're not watching the games on TV like they normally like the traditional way of watching games. So I don't think the league is more so concerned about the TV ratings because at the end of the day, the TV ratings will improve once the NFL is done. When the NFL is done and college football is done, people will be more inclined to watch the games because it's more. It's not again. What are we doing with sports? The NBA and hockey and college basketball is what we have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more
Mm-hmm.
concerned about the state of the game and the state of the league in terms of what I watch when I watch the game on TV. And what I watch a lot of times is not great. The 3-point shot is definitely affecting it. I don't know. I mean, I know we can actually get into what the league can do, but you can see the league is doing things to try to get people more interested in watching regular season games. The NBA Cup thing. The NBA
Mm-hmm.
Cup was created for that reason. They're changing the All Star game again. The All Star game has been the drizzling shits for the last 20 years. And I don't really think, and I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck about the All Star game. It's an All Star game. There's a
But it
lot, like
used
I
to
said,
be
there's a lot.
competitive.
Oh, yeah. And again, the players have dumped on the All Star game for reasons that I think there's a number of reasons why. I think the players have said We want this has to be money driven in terms of what the players feel like they're getting from the All Star game and the All Star weekend and what their share, the revenue for that is. And they must not be getting what they want from that. So for the last few years, they have just decided we don't give a damn. And we're just going to just dog it out there. The game has been the drizzling shits. And I don't know if the league's making these changes is going to really matter. At the end of the day, they can do what they want. The players have to care. If the players
But
don't care, it
Stan,
doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what they do.
but Stan, like
Yeah.
I understand, I hear what you're saying, but like that goes into the narrative of the players don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like,
narrative. Yeah. The
yeah, but
narrative, again.
but that don't
Yeah.
make it look no better when you go to the All Star
No.
game and act a fool like that. I understand that the
No,
All
I
Star
don't.
game is not supposed to be Game 7. I understand that.
Right, 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 right.
Everybody understands that. But like, I was on YouTube and I pulled up an old All Star game. I think it was like 1988. It was whatever year it was Julius Irvin's last All Star
Yeah.
game, and I was watching it, and I was like, "Yo, they're playing a basketball game."
Hmm.
Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
basketball game, bro. It would blow your mind. Like it was an actual basketball game where they played basketball. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And it's like, yo, I'm not saying they should go like all out or anything like that, but the stuff that we see in these All-Star games, I mean, like
Compete.
It's
Yo,
embarrassing.
Jokic be out there just stumbling around like he drunk, dog. Like it's crazy, man. Like they're not even giving any kind of effort at all. Not even like in the remember the All-Star game used to be like, all right, the first 3 quarters, we playing, but we ain't. But then the fourth quarter, like, all right, let's play now. And it's not even that now. It's just
Well,
trash.
I remember a Reg. You remember the All Star game when it was Stephon Marbury, Allen Iverson. They came
2000.
back on the West.
Yeah.
That was the
2000.
best All Star
2001.
game I can. It came down to they wanted to beat each other. It used to be a
That's
pride, like we're the Eastern
yeah.
Conference, y'all the Western Conference.
That
We're going to deal with y'all tonight. Like it was a certain level of pride that they took.
yeah.
Like these
That
guys,
was
it's,
the,
I
the
think
old
the
one All Star
generation
game in
got
DC.
something to do with it too.
Yeah.
The
That
generation,
was the yeah. Yeah, the
this
All Star
generation
game plays
are
a that's
entitled.
yeah. That's playing a role in it, obviously, because again, like Reggie said, it's creating a narrative. It's creating a
Mm-hmm.
narrative. The players don't take the game seriously, and that narrative is carrying over into the regular season. And again, if you watch the NBA games on most nights, it's a very competitive product. I'm not saying it's a good product every night, but it's a competitive product. But there's a narrative that's been created by the media that the low management narrative, the All Star game narrative, all this shit is playing into this narrative that the regular season doesn't matter. The product that you just wait to the playoffs, and that's playing a role in it as well. But like I said, the bigger topic to me is the state of the game, the game on TV, the product that you watch every night, the 3 point shot, the
Yep.
3 point shooting, the endless fouls at the end of these games, the free throw parades. These are all things that are bigger problems than me. The TV ratings are what they are. I think that they will get better after football, but it's not going to be. It's going to still be a decline there. But again, they just got a big ass media rights deal, so obviously these people aren't concerned about the ratings as much as maybe what
They're
people
gonna
were.
get their money
Um,
regardless.
they'll get their money. The league is going to get this money. Amazon's going to get the games. So the league is in a good financial shape. It's not in trouble, but I think we are in a crisis, approaching a crisis with the NBA right now in terms of the on court product. I do believe that, and I do believe that it needs to be addressed. And I will give Adam Silver a lot of credit compared to his predecessor. And David Stern was the guy that saved the NBA. Let's just don't get it twisted. David Stern saved the league. David Stern was also
Yeah, he
given Magic
did.
Johnson and Larry Bird. But David Stern managed to figure out a way to manage to promote the players and promote and market players to a broader audience. And the problem with the NBA, I will say today, is they have shown that they are afraid to market or to give their younger players a chance to shine. and they're still kind of clinging on to the LeBron, Steph, KD era, which we're at the end. Why the fuck are the Thunder not on TV as much as the Lakers? Why
That's a
isn't
good question.
Orlando? Why
I
isn't the
agree.
Magic on TV more? Why aren't the Thunder on TV more? Why aren't some of these really good teams?
That's a good question.
Memphis is third in the West right now. You know, why are some of these young teams and young players not being showcased? But every fucking night, I got the Warriors and the Lakers on. You know, you watch ESPN and these dumbass shows and the first takes of the world, and it's Lakers, Lakers, Lakers. It's like they're playing the hits, and it's like the Lakers are 14-12 or 14-13, and they're 11th in the West. The Warriors are 10th in the West. Why are we spending so much time talking about they spent 20 minutes talking about some fictional LeBron to the Warriors trade that's never going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
He's not getting traded to the Warriors. It's not going to happen. But we're going to spend 20 minutes talking about LeBron and Steph playing together. You saw that in the Olympics. And that was another thing, the Olympics. That was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It was awesome seeing those guys staving off Serbia and staving off these, winning the gold. But it was done to the extent of promoting the younger players in the league. The Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum's of the world. These are the guys that need to be promoted more because, again, the LeBron, Steph, and KD, we're at the end with those guys. The league has got to start promoting their young players. Start promoting their young teams. Put these teams on TV more. If the ratings are shit right now with the Lakers on every night and the Warriors on every night and the Knicks on every night, let's put the Thunder on. Let's put the Magic on. Let's put the Grizzlies on. Let's put these young teams on and let's start promoting our young players.
All right. So to be fair, I'm gonna come to you in a second, Kurt. To be fair, I do think there's a little bit of bad luck here too, because just the other night they literally had the two teams you talk about, the Magic and the Thunder, was playing on TNT. It ended up being a pretty good game, but Paolo, Franz are both out, and then Suggs got hurt in the game. So there's a little bit of bad luck here too. They did have that on TV, but yeah,
Right.
a little bit of bad
Injuries
luck.
play a role in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, injuries are a big part of the NBA now today, and guys getting hurt, and superstars getting hurt, and that can affect viewership as well and interest. But
exactly, Kurt, go ahead and get back in here. What are you thinking?
Another thing, man. When you said something, Stan, you made my mind think about them promoting the young players and why they holding on to LeBron and stuff. It's because celebrity has changed, right? Like it was so easy for LeBron to just come in and transcend sports before he even played a game. He transcended basketball because of his talent. Some of the most some of the most famous and popular people in the world have no talent. They just get in front of cameras. You know what I'm saying? Like this podcast. This podcast should not get more ratings than the actual NBA game that we're covering, right? Like if we cover the game, we would probably get more ratings. Yeah, like when you think about Kai Cenat and all of those, like we're no longer looking to the Michael Jordans and LeBron James and the Kobe's and the Ray Lewis's. We're looking to especially the youth. The youth, they don't really care about how what LaMelo Ball is driving. We cared about the fact LeBron had a Hummer, right? Before he even played the game, he had a Hummer. He had $100 million contract. Like his celebrity was big enough for us to care, right? Like celebrity has changed so bad that there's a guy, just using this as an example, who just won a Heisman as a two-way player, right? Why
Travis
isn't
Hunter.
his name like Travis Hunter? Like if he'd have been this player in the '90s, he would be God. You understand? But celebrity, the what we look at celebrity, and not only guys care about these old dudes talking more than they care about the new guys that's playing. Because we're going to care about, like us personally, we care about how KG feels about, because we grew up watching KG, right? So we care about how KG feels when he speaks, him and Paul Pierce speak. These new school, these young guys that's coming up, the youth, like let's say like under 21, maybe under 18. Like LeBron James and LaMelo Ball, they're not even that big celebrities to them. You know, Mr. Beast is a celebrity to them. Joe Rogan is a
The
celebrity to
fuck is
them.
that?
More than LeBron James. So for us, when we seen a LeBron commercial, when we was kids, if we seen a Kobe interview, like everything stopped. Like, yo, we don't know when next time we gonna see Kobe. We didn't really have YouTube and all that. So when we had a chance to see Kobe, we had to take that opportunity to see Kobe.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean?
That's
And
facts.
now they can watch Kobe anytime they want. Like you said, Stan, you be at work on your phone. You know, it might count as a view, but it's not helping like the network viewership. Like
No, it's
in
not.
the
It's not.
'90s,
Yeah.
you had to bring a TV to work. You had to bring a TV. Hey, yo, can we put a TV on the floor to watch Kobe in the '90s? So it's so many avenues. And plus, when you
Uh,
think about celebrity and these youth, we talk about a youth, these entitled youth. You think these are like diehard? We're not raising diehard fans no more. Like we was raised, it was just a thing that like if that's your team, then you gotta stay with that team.
Yep.
This man Reggie
right.
been rooting for the Magic for 20 plus years, bro. That's his
Longer
team.
than that.
Like we're not even raising diehards no more with this new entitlement and this wishy-washiness and this cancels this. Like we're not even raising diehard fans anymore. So there's a
That's a
lot that
good
go
point.
into it, man.
That's a good point that Joe just made. That Kurt just made, and that's about younger people and the diehard fan compared to like again. Our look, we're all diehard Ravens fans.
Right.
I go to Ravens games, and you see the people that go to the games. It's starting to skew younger and younger and younger. But I wonder how many of these people actually know the team. And they're just it's not just a
Right.
hey, I'm here because it's the Ravens. Trust me, I went AFC Championship game. I went to the AFC Championship game and seeing the people that was there and how many of those people were actually diehard Ravens fans or people who actually know the game of football, who know the X's and O's and understand coverages, understand who's a starting left tackle, that kind of nuanced shit that only hardcore fans know. And I think with the NBA is such a star-driven league and has been for again the last 40 years. It's a star-driven league, and
Mhm.
nowadays people are more so fan of players than they are teams.
But I
And
Mhm.
but I think that was always the case though. Like I mean all them people back in the day that was rooting for the Bulls. I wonder if they're rooting for the Bulls today. You know what I mean?
probably
Like
not.
back then when
Yeah,
Jordan, I mean, yeah, everybody was the Bulls fan, but were they rooting for them now? Like I think that's
Are
always
they
been the case.
still Bulls fans?
They
yeah.
probably not. Like
And
I
that's
think that's
more so,
always
and
been
that's
the
more
case.
so an NBA thing than it is with football, because a lot of
Right.
people nowadays are Cowboys fans and Steelers fans because they grew up with that, and those teams had legacies. The 49ers legacy teams. The NBA is a little different. I don't think it's because it's always been a star-driven league. So yeah, a lot of these people that grew up Bulls fans probably are Bulls fans today. People that grew up, Lakers fans. For some reason, the Lakers and the Knicks are like the only two teams that have legacy fans. It feels
Mhm.
like the Lakers, Knicks, and Celtics are the three probably the biggest legacy franchises in the NBA in terms of
Yes.
no matter where they play as fans. Again, we went to the Lakers Wizards game a couple years ago in DC. It felt like a home game for the Lakers, and the Lakers weren't even that good that year.
Right.
They were terrible
Right.
that year.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to when we talk about this conversation, I want to get into some things that we think can improve as far as making the game better, which hopefully will get the ratings better. Um, like so I want to go back to the All Star game for a second because while it's technically insignificant, I think the fact that so many people care about it makes it significant. The fact that it's a talking point every year about how bad it was makes it significant. So I think one of the things, in my opinion, that the NBA needs to do is they need to pick a direction because this changing the All Star game every other year is stupid. It's dumb. It makes you look desperate, to be quite honest with you. So I think you got to pick a direction, and I think if you're gonna pick the hardcore direction, which is I want this game to be competitive, I want this game to matter, then I'm sorry, you got to go all the way in and say, you know what? Going forward, the team that wins the All-Star game, that conference gets home court in the finals. I don't love it,
Yeah.
but it's a drastic move. If
Baseball
this
does it.
they used to, I don't think they do it anymore. They used to.
Baseball used to do it
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
baseball had the same problem trying to get the All Star game to matter more and get people to watch. So that's why they did that. And the NBA, and again, that's a move that the league needs to consider doing. Absolutely, gotta make this game. You gotta make
Absolutely.
people care about the
But
game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think again, it's a drastic move, but I think if you want it, that's the drastic move you have to go. And if you don't want to do that, you got to make a drastic move the other direction. Now, y'all gonna think I'm trolling with what I'm about to say, but I'm dead ass serious, right? If we're picking the direction of look, the game doesn't matter, the guys aren't taking it seriously, it's whatever, then let's lean into that. Do y'all remember Rock and Jock back in the day on MTV
Hmm.
where they used to
yeah,
have the colorful cord and they had the 25
yeah,
point
yeah,
shot
yeah.
above the rim and the 50-point shot above that, and they had little parts on the score you could shoot from, and they had celebrities in it. I say this make if we're leaning into the fact that this game is just a joke, let's lean into it. Let's make this thing like Rock and Jock. Let's get a 25 pointer. Let's put spots on the thing all over the floor. Y'all remember when Queen Latifah stole the ball from
She stripped Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp?
When she
Yeah,
stripped Sean Kemp,
yeah,
yo.
to the basket. Yeah, let's do it.
I remember
Let's
that.
have let's have it East and West. Let's have it like Rock and Jock. Let's have East and West both have like 6 celebrities and put them on a team with them. I think you'll get better celebrities if the celebrities are literally gonna be on the court with Steph Curry and LeBron. You could get some solid celebrities. Remember, everybody wanted Barack Obama to play in a celebrity game. It's like he's not gonna play in that game. Nobody even
Yeah,
watches it. But
yeah.
if it's an All-Star game, he probably would have did it. Like, yeah, I jump on the court with LeBron. Why not? I think look, and people could think I'm trolling, think I'm joking, but if they did this, would y'all watch it? I think you would. I think you because you're leaning into the direction. I think you got to consider it.
Yeah, it's something that again, if they have to, like you said, they have to pick a lane with this All Star game and figure out and stay there and stay the course. We can't keep changing the All Star game every 2 or 3 years. And this is like the third or fourth change they've made to the All Star game. And then you got guys like KD talking about he don't like it, and other star players saying they don't like it. It's like, what the? I was like, what the fuck, guys? They're doing this shit because y'all don't give a shit about the game. They're doing this kind of stuff because y'all keep going out there and pissing on the
I don't
game.
compete.
You're not competing. It's like, and again, it doesn't help. It doesn't help when the Stephen A. Smiths of the world are going on TV and lambasting the All Star game and basically lambasting the players and this kind of stuff. I saw somebody said on Colin Coward's show said that some guy who was on his show said that the inside the NBA was hurting the NBA product because Barkley and those guys tend to shit on the game too much. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's like one of the best things about the
Like
game nowadays.
it is.
Because
It is. It is.
his argument was because the other day they had the Rockets and it was the NBA Cup game, the Rockets and the Thunder. And Barkley said that the Rockets don't know how to play together. They don't know how to play basketball. And again, if you play that clip and just that part, people can be saying, "Oh, Barkley's taking a shit on the league again. I'm taking a shit on the Rockets." If you actually listen to what Barkley said, which is a problem nowadays, when people don't fucking listen to what's being said, they just take bits
Mm-hmm.
and pieces and try to make a salacious headline. Oh, Charles Barkley said the Rockets don't know how to play basketball. If you actually listen to what Barkley said, it made perfect sense of what he was saying. That they don't know how to play the game together in an efficient way that leads to them being competitive with other teams that know how to play together. Basketball is a team sport. I know that that's hard to understand because all ESPN does is talk about the players. I talk about LeBron James all the time. It's a team sport. If you have to play together as a team to be competitive, that's what he was saying. They need to learn how to play together as one, as a team with ball movement, player movement, communicating on defense. That's what he's talking about. But again, they want to take shit and make it to be something. Oh, Charles Barkley's taking a shit on the league again. That's a narrative. That's another narrative. The old guys hate the new game. The old players hate the new game. No, older players are looking at the new game, looking at the game today from the lens of what they experienced when they played and said, you know what? If they did this, it would make the game better. Constructive criticism is fine. Bitching about the league with just the bitch is another thing. And yeah, there's a lot of guys that just do
Yeah,
that. There's a lot of guys that take a shit on certain players just to get attention because that's the era we're in,
yep,
the attention era. We're in the
yep.
attention whore. We're in the attention whore era of the world. So Stephon Marbury will go on a podcast and take a shit on LeBron James because it's going to get him attention. That's what we're in now. But that's not how all these guys are. And that's not what I don't think Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny Smith and those guys are trying to dump on the game. They're trying to give their insight on how to make the game better. There's a difference between just shitting on the game and then saying, this is what I think they should do.
So on that, as far
Shitting,
as
yeah.
what they should do, because I think we got to find some solutions to help make the game better. I mean, Kurt, do you have like
I
a
can tell
fix?
you one thing. I know something for a fact. I know something for a fact that will change the game immediately. Incentivized contracts. Why the fuck you think them NFL niggas be out there running all this shit? Like, I gotta get 10 sacks. If I don't get 10 sacks, it's a different. If I don't get 10 sacks, if I get 5 sacks, I'm gonna make $5 million. But if I make 10 sacks this year, I'm gonna get 12 million. You're gonna get a touchdown per game. You know what I'm saying? Every touchdown I get 500,000. Why you think the running backs be out there putting their shoulders down, putting hands down? Motherfucking TJ Watt out there trying to kill niggas, bro. Cause he get like $75,000 a sack. See, these guys, they got their money. All they gotta do is show up to the game and play for real. But see, in the NFL, you gotta practice to get that check. You gotta do film room to get that check. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do practice and film room, then you're not playing. And if you're not playing, you don't get a game day check. And even if you do get a game day check, you better get we paying you this top dollar as a wide receiver. You better go get them touchdowns. You better go get some receptions. You better go get some yards. Them boys sign up. Them boys can sign a $200 million contract in the NBA, right? And do absolutely shit and get $200 million after tax.
I'm
If
not. I'm
Kawhi
not.
Leonard,
I'm not mad at that, Kurt. But I mean, you could make the case that, to be quite honest, the NBA, excuse me, the NFL Players Associations just get screwed by the NFL. Like, that's not a great system for the players, if we're being honest. So I mean, the idea that the NBA and they've negotiated a good situation for the players, like, it's not really realistic to think the players are going to say, "All right, let's do that." Like, that's not even a realistic. I hear what you're saying. I'm not
but
saying
see,
you're wrong,
but the
but I'm
reason
talking
that's
about
the
we need some
problem, the reason that
realistic solutions.
no, but this is what I'm saying. The reason why that's a problem for the NFL is because it's 55 guys and it's not enough money to go around. That's why it's a problem in the NFL. It's 55. When it's 15 guys and two of them are getting paid 20, 30 million a year to sit on the bench or go out there and not really care about the game, a team should be able to say, just like in the NFL, a team should be able to forego contract. It should not be guaranteed that just because I signed you, you can do shit all year. Zion Williamson go in there and gain 60 pounds and can't even play, and we still got to pay him a max contract. Not in the NFL. Not in the NFL.
I agree.
Like you got these guys on the bench. You got these guys that's on the bench making 15, $16 million, not even paying attention to the game. You got Jordan Poole getting $30 million, won't even come to a huddle because it's guaranteed. Even if you cut me, you gotta pay me.
Guaranteed money,
Incentivize
yeah,
contracts. Make
it's
those guys. I'm not saying do it quite like the NFL. I'm not saying do it quite like the NFL. And I'm not saying put it in the owner's hands because that will allow the owners to get advantage of it. But what I'm saying is when these guys are a big part of these reasons that these guys are doing what they want to do is because they're going to get paid regardless. Regardless. It don't matter. So like you ain't show up for this game, you ain't play hard enough, we're gonna cut you next week. And you're supposed to get 30 million, and you're gonna end up getting 3. I bet you they go out there and play hard then. I bet you them boys go out there and start sweating then. I bet you they showing up to practice. I bet you they start playing the team ball and doing what the coach say because guess what? This 150 million ain't guaranteed. And that's why the NFL players shut up. That's why the NFL players do it because it ain't guaranteed. If they put more emphasis on responsibility or paycheck as it correlates to responsibility and accountability, we will see more responsibility. NFL, you got to earn it. And I think if those guys was in a situation like these NFL players, where they had to go out here every week and every game and play a certain type of level to gain it. And if I didn't play this certain type of level, and if I wasn't giving 100% effort, that team could just take my contract away from me and only pay me 10% of it. You would see a vast difference in effort in the NBA immediately, guaranteed. Now, another thing that can help ratings, like I was talking about the Mr. Beasts, and I was talking about the Castanet. Let them boys commentate. Let him do a stream. Let Castanet do an NBA stream on his platform. Like we're gonna have to change with the times. We're gonna have to change with the times, bro. And those Mr. Beast and the Castanets are running the world now. So we need to incorporate the Mr. Beast and the Castanets in our NBA program product. That's what I believe. But it ain't really
I
too
don't even
much you
know.
can do because the world is
I don't even know
different
who those
going.
people are. So I mean, I can't comment because I have no idea who the fuck those people are. So and what makes them interesting? Because they can get on a TV, like they can get on a
Yo,
TV, they can get on a screen and just start yelling and shit and saying funny things. Like I can do that. We can do that.
yeah,
If well,
but they got like 8 million
why don't
followers.
the NBA? Yeah, I get that, but why the NBA can just come to me and you and Reggie and have us do a fucking just your stream of a game and it'd be just as good. I mean, I think the league has to look at the game and the product on the court and say what can we do to minimize some of this shit. I don't know if you can and then I know that Adam Silver said recently that the 3-point shot they're not looking at moving the line back. I think they should look at moving the line back. Not too far, but maybe back to where it was in the 90s, in the 80s. Move the line back a few inches. Move the corner even. I don't believe eliminating the corner three is a good idea. But that corner three is the easiest fucking 3-point shot you can make. And you got guys 7 feet,
Facts,
guys that don't shoot it very well that can make that corner three. I think moving the
facts.
3-point line back is an option, but I don't know if that's going to discourage guys from taking that shot. Because again, you're seeing guys pulling up from 30 now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they can. I know the 3-point shot is a problem, but at the end of the day, it's part of the game. You can't eliminate it. It's a
Yeah.
Steph Curry effect, you know.
Yeah. And to be
I think
honest,
they could
man,
put
I'm
I think they could put defense back in too. Let these boys be a little bit more physical defensively. It look like you gotta improve the actual product of the game, right? And allowing these guys to actually play defense will improve like the competition because now we can actually compete defensively. It's just like I don't understand how guys not scoring 80 points a game. Like Kobe, like if you put Crazy 8 Kobe in this league, he would average 50 because these guys aren't allowed to compete defensively, right? So give these guys the opportunity to compete defensively. Let them, I ain't saying you gotta let them hand check, but it's at least be able to let them be physical enough to dictate where the offensive player goes if he beats them to the spot, right? They can't even beat guys to the spot now. They got proximity fouls where you got to let guys get their feet together and shoot. Like we all know, yo, the best way to stop a shooter is to not let them square their feet. Now you got to let these guys square their feet because it's a proximity foul. So it's a lot of things they could do to just the overall improvement of the actual play of the game. We should start there first. And I think the first thing they should do is allow these guys to be physical again. Allow these guys to actually play defense.
I agree. I think that,
Put
and I
some
think the
defensive
league,
rules
the
in
league
there.
done a little bit of that because the game has been a little bit more physical lately. Like they had the referees have been swallowing the whistles a little bit more as of late. So it is going in a decent direction there. But I do agree. I think there needs to be a little more leeway on the perimeter right now. I think, like you said, there's a lot of like touch fouls that are called that really don't need to be called.
Hmm.
I understand what you're saying about the landing thing, but like they put that in rule in place because like you can twist the ankle and you got enough injury issues, man. So you got to let the guy land if he's shooting the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I hear what you're saying, but like that's a good way to be out for 4 weeks. Somebody lands on your foot. So you know, so here's the
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
Here's the thing that I want to bring up because I understand that like the NFL is like the king and whatnot, but the one thing I don't like is that when people try to compare the NBA to the NFL, and you can't because not because the NFL is some great marketing thing because they're not. I'm gonna talk about that in a second, but like football is simply more popular in the United States than basketball. The NFL is more popular than the NBA. College football is more popular than college basketball. High school football is more
True,
popular than high school basketball. So it's just a thing.
true.
Football is just simply king. We act like the NFL is doing some incredible job of marketing. Are they really? Because a lot of the
They
things
aren't.
they do is the exact same stuff the NBA does. They're adding regular season games. People talk about like we love the scarcity. I love that every week matters. Well, it's 17 games now. It's about to be 18 soon, right?
It'll be
Um,
18 soon enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they're
this
adding
hey,
they're adding more playoff teams. Like people say, "Oh, the NBA, man, too many teams make the playoffs, makes the regular season not matter." Well, the NFL added more wild card teams. People say that the NBA is soft, like it's not as physical as it used to be. Well, damn, the NFL is the same way. They've taken away a lot of stuff out of football. I don't even know how you tackle anymore. Any tackle you do is a flag. The rules are more towards the offensive player in the NBA. Well, it's the same way in the NFL. Defense can't do nothing. Everything is a flag. So people, and the thing about it is people complain about this stuff every year. Every time the NFL makes a change, they make the hip drop change this past year. Everybody complains about it, but they keep watching it because they just love football. So I don't think the NFL is doing some incredible marketing thing. I mean, football used to be Sunday and Monday. Sunday was special, and of course Monday was special as well. And
yeah,
Thanksgiving,
Monday was the one.
yeah, Thanksgiving was special because like, oh man, it's football on Thursday. It ain't even supposed to be on Thursday, and it's football on Thursday. Football on every Thursday now. Now football about to come on
Yeah.
Saturday. Football about to come on Christmas. Like they've put games on all over the place that should, in theory, take away the specialness of it, but it don't because people just love football. So it's not like they're doing something great that the NBA isn't doing. People love football. That's the bottom line.
This country loves football.
But
Yeah.
And the
the
reality
thing
is,
football
yeah,
did. Oh, go ahead, Stan. Go ahead,
the
Stan.
NBA
What you
has
saying?
the NBA, yeah, the NBA probably has about 20 to 25 recognizable stars, and I don't think the NFL has 10. I'm talking guys that if they walk through the fucking White Marsh Mall, everybody would know who they were. Like if you can think about 20 to 25 NBA players right now, if they walk through the White Marsh Mall, people would go ape shit because they would know who they are. I don't know that's the case for the
Right.
NFL, but the NFL is widely popular in this country because people in this country love football. Like I said, the NBA is having an American audience problem. They are not having a audience problem throughout the globe because their numbers are great or internationally. They're making a boatload of money internationally. The interest is there. It's an American problem because America, for a number of reasons, gravitates towards the NFL more than he do to any other sport. And this is where, and again, this is where we have to start talking about, I don't want to say political issues, but we all remember back in 2016, 2017, what the NFL went through with the Colin Kaepernick stuff and how that divided
Right.
the nation and how people, it still boggles my mind that there are people who said they could not watch the NFL because of what guys were doing before the game started. How does a guy not standing for a fucking national anthem have to do with your enjoyment of the game on the field? I don't understand that. That's just, but that's what I heard from a lot of white folks. That's white people logic. They don't make a lot of sense, but whatever. It didn't make no sense to me. But the NFL went through a crisis. That was probably the only, and it wasn't just that. I think that during that time there was a lot of stuff with football in general and how dangerous it is. And do you want your kids
Yeah,
playing
concussion.
football and
Right.
concussions? And then COVID happened and everybody just forgot about all that shit. It seemed like once COVID happened, everybody forgot about the taking a knee. They forgot about the concussion stuff. And it was like, oh, we just love football. We want football. We love it. And now the NFL is more popular now than ever. It's bigger than what it ever was. Nobody remembers the fact that the league was in a crisis during this time because they were losing viewership. Go ahead, go.
The thing about football that separates it from basketball is football is a tradition. Like that's what we do. We go to church on Sunday, we come home, eat, and watch football together as a family. Football is more of a family sport, and basketball used to be that family sport, just like that. Which is why basketball they both surpassed baseball. Like back in the day, it was baseball, but they both surpassed baseball because football is a tradition. A lot of people don't watch Thursday night football games for real, for real. You know what he's saying that? Like the great the Thursday night football games, we don't really watch those. We watch Sunday, we watch Monday, and if we're privileged enough to get it on Saturday because it's the playoffs, then we'll take it. Like every time, it's always been Saturday games when we get closer to the playoffs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's just something about Sunday that is our day. Like you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's a perfect marketing strategy. If you want to be honest, the NFL don't even have to market like on TV. Just the fact of when you play and what are we known to do on Sundays. That's marketing enough. We go to church, we get food, we eat with family while we watch football. When you like Texas, I've been to Texas. They got signs that says God family football everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, so tradition, like football is a tradition. It's become a tradition. Basketball is like, I guess I ain't got nothing better to do. Let's watch the game, right? Football, we get ready for the game. We cook, we get the grill ready. Basketball is like, it's not, well, when it's the playoffs, when they get around playoff time, basketball get real. I think what basketball should do is, like I said, the contracts, that's just an opinion. Or just something I think thinking outside the box. But they definitely need to do something to improve the play and the effort that these guys are giving on the court every night. You can see that guys just want to play offense, bro. You know what I mean? Guys just want to get their bag off and get their shot off. They got to do something to get more effort out of these guys, and they need to. I think the NBA should also, like I say, adjust, like adjust. Like you wouldn't watch a basketball game just because Dave Chappelle was commenting. What? Dave Chappelle the commentator? I'm on it. Like they gotta start doing these things outside of tradition. Like I would love to hear like a Marlon Wayans to be a commentator or somebody that's they gotta know about basketball though. It just can't be just somebody that's stupid and funny. But somebody that actually knows the game and start reaching out to these outside outlets because you can no longer just put Michael Jordan on TV on a commercial and everybody watch a game. It don't work like that no more. We don't even watch network television no more. Like we watch Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime. Like, do y'all watch the football games on network TV? Like, which one of y'all actually turn to WJZ or not watching it like on like a cable channel or streaming? We don't even watch network television no more. So it's like, bro, I watch them I watch the Ravens on the through the NFL network. I don't watch the Ravens through WJZ, bro. Like we don't even do that no more. So the NFL, the NBA has to figure out where the audience is and what does the audience want. We can't like the NFL can say, look, we the NFL. If you don't like it, then you won't support it anyway. Like Reggie said, they change the rules and do all of that crazy. We still watch it every year because it's a tradition. The NBA, you don't have it like that. You got to kiss some ass to these fans. I'm sorry. You got to kiss some ass.
So on that
Like,
on
that's the
that
only
point,
way, bro. They're going to have to give the fans what they actually be wanting. The NFL could tell us what we want because we're going to watch it regardless. The NBA can't do that, bro.
so on
They
that
got
point,
to go with
I
what's
want to I
popping.
want to I want to touch on this very briefly because I want to throw out some more before we get out of here. I want to throw in some more things that I think they could do to just make the game better, which I think will translate. But I'm going to touch on this briefly because I feel like it's the elephant in the room. Um, I, I do think that there is again a narrative about the NBA that it's too woke. I do think that's something that is a narrative about the NBA, and um, I think a lot of it is dumb. I think a lot of it is people just being too sensitive. But I do think that there is something to it because there are some times where I just feel like, man, this ain't the move. Like I saw a clip a little while ago, and it was Greg Popovich. And Greg Popovich it looked like he was sitting down at an NBA press conference. So I don't know exactly how they got on this topic, but he was just cooking Trump. I mean, just baking him, just going in about Donald Trump. I mean, just frying him. And I understand what he was saying, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like we have to be honest about it. 50% over 50% of the country support him. And when you're getting on there just body bagging them like that, it's gonna turn people off. It's gonna make people say, I don't want to support this because y'all are going at somebody that I support. Like if you flipped it around and you know somebody major in the sport was cooking who you support, you would feel funny about like, yo, what's this dude even talking about? Like, why is this even being talked about? I don't want to even support that. So I do think the NBA has to be a little. I'm not saying that players shouldn't take stands on stuff. I'm cool with that. They should, but I think there's a little happy medium here. You don't have to like go in all the time. You remember there was an incident that happened, and I don't think all the details were even out. And LeBron James posted something on Twitter where he showed the police officer that was involved and said, "You're next." And you don't even have all the details. When all the details come out, it's like, oh, this probably wasn't the one to even say that on. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think we gotta be a little careful because it's turning people off. People don't want to support it when you're taking stances like that. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about social issues. I don't think there's any problem with that. But there has to be a little bit of a happy medium here, dude. Just a little bit. Like you gotta kind of be careful on that because you're stepping on the toes of people who you want to watch your product. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
See, when that started in the NFL, the NBA, being a woke, that started with Bill Russell.
Right.
Remember, Bill Russell had that big summit. You know what I mean? Wasn't nobody in the NBA. Nobody said nothing. He came home and seen what they had. They had defecated in his bed and all type of stuff, bro.
Right.
So
Right.
he held a summit about that. And then later on, where he started, um, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar continued. And then you have the Chris Johnsons, aka Abdul Mahmoud's, and the Craig Hodges. So um, that has always been a part of the NBA. However, we're in a cancel culture now. See, wasn't no cancel culture back when Bill Russell, was doing what he was doing, and those guys was willing to sit out games. Like Bill Russell, them, like they was about it all the way. Like we not gonna play. You understand? And these guys, like when you see these guys, these rich guys, they say what they say. We expect them to say something, but like when you brought up Colin Kaepernick, like he begged for his job back. That just ruined everything that you did from the jump, bro. You said the NFL was just paid. Like Martin Luther King took a stand, and he's no longer here. There are guys that's no longer took it. You took a stand for us, and then went back and begged them. You know what I mean? Like so, kind of like took away from it. But we are in a cancel culture, bro. We can say me, and you, and Stan can say one word for 10 seconds. This has been an hour video. They could take one word in 3 seconds, and they'll take the whole channel off because we're in a cancel culture, right? So when you realize that you have to be mature enough to say, I do care about this situation, but at least let me be accurate about my, like you say, assess. Everybody has a platform now. All you need is a phone and some Wi-Fi to have a platform now. You know, so it's like when you are in these prime positions, you do have to watch what you say. And that woke stuff, dude, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I get tired of the woke stuff as a black man sometimes. I've seen Max Kellerman criticize a guy's character and it been turned into a race thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I hate that. I hate that whole like let's stay woke, but you guys are living in your mansions when you go home. Like none of you are coming to the hood. None of you are doing food drives. None of you are actually like trying to put your hands on these communities. So I kind of get tired of the woke stuff too, bro. Like especially like when you say LeBron opening up his mouth and he ain't really, you don't really have all the details, you know, and everybody has a brain, right? And like if you say something racy, then you get views, and the more views you get, the more attention you get. So it's like a race to who can say the most profound thing first. You see what I'm saying? And the whole time your sponsor looking back like, yo, that's my man's. Like so I get what you're saying totally, Reggie. Sometimes they do put their foot in their mouth. So I agree with that. Like they do need to be a media. I do think they should touch on social injustices verbally, publicly, but I think they should do more work to match it also. That's all. And then it would be respected more. That's why they respected Bill. Bill had the summit, Bill went to the hood. Kareem changed his name, Kareem changed his life. He went to the hood to try to touch people. Like these guys are just tweeting and sitting back in their mansions. So
Mm.
I'm tired of the woke myself, bro. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. In that capacity. Not woke people, not the woke
Here's
movement, but the wokeness in that capacity. Yes.
Okay.
here's the thing, man. First of all, stop saying woke. Woke is a white person's word for black. I don't like the word woke. I've hated it for the last few years. White people have ruined it. I don't like it. Second of all, here's the thing: the NBA has had this weird racial component to it that has existed for its 8 decade run. And like you talked about Bill Russell, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When Kareem was the best player in the league, it was difficult for them to market that because Kareem was the angry black man.
Hmm.
Michael, when Magic came into the league, he was the happy black man. He was what white people love about black people. When they're flashy, when they're entertaining, and they're smiling, and they're goody two shoes. Of course, we all know Magic was the biggest whore in the world at that time, but nobody knew that then.
Hmm.
Then Michael came into the league, and Michael was the essential black man. He didn't say shit, but he was cool. He was awesome on the court, and he did things that they could never do. But the biggest part, he didn't say anything.
He did.
He didn't say anything. Today's athletes say shit. So the problem becomes, how do you, again, the NBA has always had a racial component to it. There's always been this racial
Right.
component. And people can say whatever they want about it. That's a fact. Why did the NBA take off in the 80s when it did? The Magic and Larry thing. Why was the Magic and Bird thing so great? It was a black man and a white man. White America had his great white hope back then. It was Larry Bird. Larry Bird was going out there and busting niggas' asses every night. Busting their ass. They love that. And that, why do you think the Caitlin Clark thing took off? Here's a white girl busting these black girls' ass. They love that. They
Oh,
love when
come
people who
on,
look like
man.
them. Let me finish. They love when people who look like them busting niggas' asses. They love it. That's a fact. The NBA doesn't have a Caitlin Clark right now. And when I say that, they don't have a marketable
American ball,
superstar.
white man.
They don't have a marketable superstar white player. They have European players, Jokic, Luka, not Americans. Embiid, not American. The under 30 guys are the best under 30 guys in the league are not American. That's a problem too. But the NBA has always had this bubbling issue because it's been conceived to be a black league.
You on
Before
to something,
Magic and
Stan. You
Bird,
on to something, Stan.
before Magic
You
and
on
Bird.
to something.
Again, here's some history for you. Remember when Kermit Washington knocked the shit out of Rudy Tonjama, whatever his name is, the old coach of the Rockets, and he
Olajuwon.
punched him out? Yeah. That's if you go back in those times and that during that time and read the Sports Illustrated articles that was written about it, the overwhelming narrative is the NBA too black? Then Bird came into the league. Then Magic came into the league. That narrative went away. Jordan, the narrative went away. After Jordan retired, and the league was then promoting the Allen Iversons, the KGs, and all these black dudes that were influenced by hip hop, that shit came right back to the surface. And then the Palace brawl happened. And what did you hear when the Palace brawl happened? Thugs,
All
gangsters.
yep.
And that racial shit bubbled right back up again. And then the bubble, and then let's go back to the bubble. What happened during the bubble? They put Black Lives Matter on the court. And that racial shit bubbled right back up again. The league has always had it's a black league narrative, which is hilarious because the NFL has just as many black players percentage-wise as the NBA does. But nobody looks at football as a black league because the prominent players used to be quarterbacks used to be all white. But that's changed. The NBA has always battled this racial component in their entire history because it's always been perceived as a black league, particularly over the last 40 to 50 years. It's always been perceived as a black league because the players are majority black.
Right, yep.
So yeah, Reggie's point about the political stuff and the anti-Trump stuff is always it's there because again, you got a bunch of 50. If you ever talk to a bunch of middle-aged 50 white guys who used to watch the NBA and then you ask them why they don't watch the NBA anymore, they give you a bunch of nonsense. And they talk about Michael Jordan was always better than LeBron James. You know why you think Michael Jordan was better than LeBron James? Because Michael Jordan didn't say shit. Michael didn't say anything. Michael never took any positions. Michael never did anything that could be perceived political. If you watch The Last Dance, you'll see them talk about that shit. LeBron has always been on the forefront of taking stances on things politically and socially. When you do that, that's going to turn off a percentage of white fans.
That is true.
They
That
do.
is true. That is
White
true.
people love when we knock each other out. They love when we just beat the shit out of each other. They love we're dunking the basketball and we're dancing in the end zone and we're doing the donut shuffle in the end zone and all that other shit. They love that shit. But as soon as we start saying real shit, they get turned off. That's always been there. And I do think that is a proponent to the NBA struggles in terms of TV viewership because who watches more than regular TV? Old white people.
Yep.
And you got a league of mostly black players who are entrenched in black culture that does not vibe with white people of that particular group. Not all. I don't want anybody getting any panties in a bunch. Not all white people. But that is a part of it. The political stuff, the racial component has always been a part of the NBA for its entire history. And they have managed to kind of, every time it bubbles up, they manage to kind of simmer it down because somebody enters the league that transcends that. Again, the NBA has had countless danger zone moments over the years where it's like, oh shit, what's
Gilbert
wrong with the
Arenas.
NBA? Yeah. Not just
Gilbert
TV
Arenas. I
ratings
see on there.
and interest and all that. There's
But
always
Stan,
been numerous
Yeah.
times that's happened.
but Stan, like
Yeah.
my point is like if you look at these numbers, right? And I'm looking at just the finals, just the NBA finals, right? The bubble is where the Black Lives Matter stuff was on the court. The bubble is where they refused to play the game after the Jacob Blake shooting. They refused to play a game. And again,
Yeah.
this is before they got all the information, they got all the details. They took these stands. Like once some more stuff came out, it was like, I don't know about this one. This doesn't feel the same as it did before we got all the details, right? And so this was in the bubble, right? I'm just going to read some numbers to you, right? Before the literal year before the bubble. This is 2019. This is when the Raptors and Golden State played. Before the bubble, the year before, 8.8, 7.9, 8.0, 7.8, 7.6, 10.6, 10.7. That's literally the year before, right? Then
That's the percentages they down.
No, that's just the number. That's the rating. That's how they do this Nelson rating.
Oh,
I'm not an
okay.
expert on the Nelson ratings, but that's like they make a number of like how many people watched it or whatnot. It equals a certain amount of stuff. So like 8.8 equal like 15 million viewers, something like that. It's something I ain't no expert on it. I'm just reading the number. So the next year, which was in the bubble, right? The Lakers played the Heat in the bubble, and it's during COVID, so like everybody's home, ain't nothing else to do but watch TV, right? You would think, but look at these numbers: 4.0, 4.1, 3.6, 3.1, 4.4.
Oh, it was bad. Don't get me wrong.
4.8, 4.2. Now that's literally half. Like half your audience is not watching the finals the very next year. And that's in the mix of like all the political stuff that happened in the bubble. Half your audience,
COVID, all that.
half your audience didn't watch it. And like it's hard to not say that the stuff that they didn't play a part because again, it's COVID. Everybody's home. Like we should
absolutely did.
There ain't nothing else to do but watch TV, and half your audience disappeared. Yeah.
It absolutely did. And you're absolutely right. It did. But I think the league the league knew at that point in time it was important to back the players. Your players are majority black. The issues that were going on at that time were affecting black people. These cops are out here just shooting and killing everybody, killing black people all day, every day with impunity. This shit was bothering all of us. The league was backing the players. The league knew that if the players first of all should have said, "Fuck y'all, we're not playing. Fuck you, we're not playing. Y'all want to keep shooting and killing us on the street, but you want us to go ahead and entertain y'all. Fuck y'all, we're not playing." They shouldn't have played. But the end of the day was they had to because of the financial impact it would have made on the league if they didn't play. Because at that time, the collective bargaining agreement was getting ready to come up. And you gotta do what you gotta do to secure the bag for the future guys in the league coming in, not just yourselves. So I understood why they played. I understood why they went out there and played. So the league had to back them in that way. But yeah, when you start promoting and you start backing black people and you start, talking about black issues, it's going to turn off the white audience. That's a fact. And what does that say about those people? You know what I'm saying? But that's a fact. It is a fact. That shit infected the NBA, and I think that shit has an impact on the NBA today. I think the NBA's relationship with China has an impact on their game today. There's that perceived idea that the NBA's in bed with China. The NBA does business with everybody. Just
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get to just towards the end of this video here. Just in general, we're talking about fixes
While we
here.
still allowed to be on TV, while we still
Hey,
allowed
well,
to be on the air, we gonna talk about
um, what did y'all think of the All Star game as far as my idea, like you getting a rock and jock style thing? What do y'all think of that?
don't matter to me.
I
I
mean,
mean, can it be any worse than the
it's
shit
not
that
gonna.
they're doing this year?
They need to put defense in the game, bro. They need to put the physicality back in the game that we used to. Put the fire back. And listen, rather than that boy rock and jock, if the correlation of pace was directly related to responsibility and effort, the NBA would look like the 90s.
All right. Anything to add to that?
I think the league needs to. The All Star game, like I said, the All Star game is the All Star game. It's an exhibition. I think your idea is fine. It's no worse than the idea of what the NBA is actually doing. Four fucking teams of six. This shit's stupid. But they're trying to do what they can do to get interest back in the All Star game because again, it affects the TV partners. At the end of the day, the league has to look hard at its game. Some of the other extra shit they have no control over, but they gotta look at the game, the on court product, and look at it and say, what can we do to fix some of these issues? Because these issues are becoming a crisis with the league. The 3-point shooting is out of control. The in the game fouling is out of control. The game itself is fine at times, but the 3-point shooting is starting to really fuck with the game in general. And they got to fix that. They got to, but I don't know how you fix that. You're not going to take the 3-point shot away. Do you move the 3-point line back further? Again, the league can't fall into the trap of doing gimmicky shit because that's the kind of shit that people who look like they're going out of business do, is the gimmicky stuff. So they can't do
Listen,
gimmicky shit.
if you allow me to be more physical with a ball handler on the perimeter, right? You allow me to actually run through picks, right? Like that'll take 3 pointers out, and that'll take some 3 pointers off right then and there. You just eliminated a couple. You just eliminated maybe 5 or 6 threes a game by saying Patrick Beverly can be more, Drew Holiday can be more physical. You understand what I'm saying? Jalen Suggs can be more physical. You take away
Yeah,
five or six threes a game just by saying that.
the
I just
physicality
You just
is
said it.
there in the game. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just
It's
don't think
getting there.
so. I just don't think so. I think that like the game, the players are just too skilled. When you have guys running off
Your
of
players too
picks
skilled, bro.
that are crazy, that have crazy range from the 3-point line, and then the guy who's setting the pick can also shoot threes. It's just impossible to guard that. I think the 3-point shot, it just is what it is. I'm
Yeah.
opposed to anything that fundamentally changes basketball because I just think that like the game it'll move. Like this is a fad. One, it will move past it. Eventually, something else is going to come along. You might see instead of having all these guys that can
The
shoot
mid
threes, you'll have
range is coming
five
back.
guys, and all five guys will just all be guys that drive to the basket and score in the paint. Then people be saying, "Oh, I miss back in the day when people had more skill and they could shoot." That's just the way the
Yeah.
game goes. It will evolve. Things will change. I don't think we should
Yeah.
fundamentally change the game. I think that
Absolutely not.
I think
Absolutely
that
not.
I'm just going to say this, and then we'll probably get out of here. I think you got to find a way to get rivalries back in the game, and I think a good way of doing that is to mess around with the schedule. I think that having a couple of games, especially with teams who are close in proximity, have them have like a baseball style series. So instead of spreading them out, if Orlando is playing Miami, let's just get the 4 in. Let's play the 4 right now. Let's get them in. And I think that when you play a team back to back, you know how that goes. You start getting tired of seeing the same people.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a rivalry. I think that with the NBA Cup, I think the Cup is a good idea. I think it's doing fine. Again, the ratings doesn't show, but I think it's doing fine. I think it's a good idea. I think you should leave the teams in the same pool. I don't think you should change the pool every year. If I play the same team in these tournament games every year in the pool, again, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm tired of losing to them in this tournament. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those two things is what I would
Right.
do. Let's have some baseball style series throughout the year, especially teams close in proximity. If the Lakers play the
Yeah, they're
Clippers,
already
just
doing
get
that
them
now. They're
in.
already doing it now. They're already
I'm saying
doing
get them
it. They're
all
already
in, not
doing it.
just two. I'm saying
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just two. Get
yeah,
them all in. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I
Because
think
they
that would
already
be good.
like the Lakers and the Kings play tonight. They played Thursday night in Sacramento, so they're playing again. That kind of stuff. You're absolutely right. It's a good idea. Create more rivalries is a good
I
idea.
think I think
And we're
I
starting to
think I
see a
think
little bit
I
of that
think I
now.
think it's definitely good. I think that's a good idea. But I do think I just think that adding physicality improves the overall quality of the product.
I agree.
Adding allowing guys to be physically defense. It's gonna okay if you got this bag and I'm just letting you come off and pick and shoot. I mean, that's just that. But if you got this bag and I'm hounding you and I'm pushing you and I'm shoving you and I'm pushing you out, now you really got to dig in your bag.
I agree.
You feel me? Like, what do you when you see the most out of Kyrie is when guys are trying to actually play him hard. You know what I'm saying? That's when you see the most out of Kyrie. That's when you see the cam guard behind the back, spin move, back step, all that. So just more effort. And if you allow these guys to be more physical, it's going to cause more effort. And that's all I'm saying. Like, they have to allow these guys to play defense, bro. That's just the bottom line. And if you allow guys to play defense, they will take the shot from them. They will take the shot from them. It will be more competitive. It will be less guys just jacking it up. Because guys, but then again, it might not because some of these guys are just stupid in the league. They got bags, but they just don't know the game of basketball. So I just would like to see more physicality. As far as defense on the perimeter, being able to compete defensively, that improves the whole overall product. And that's all you can do at this point in time is improve the product. I mean, they've
That's the
already
biggest thing.
did everything they could possibly do advertising. What more could they do advertising, bro? It's nothing else they can do to advertise the game. You have to improve your product first because it'll be pointless for them to do all of that stuff and go 6x6 and them to get this new playoff and the cup is taken off. And it's the same boring brand of basketball. Let them guys fight. Not fight like with the fist, but fight. Like Jordan had to fight for position. Kobe had to fight for position. Let them guys fight for position out there instead of giving it to the ball handler. That will change that right little minor adjustment means it's like it's what's the word? Not priceless, but what's the other word that you can't put a value on? When you can't put a value on, I guess it would be priceless. Just that little allowing them to be physical and dictate the ball handler and compete down bottom would be you can't put a value on how much that would mean to the game and the overall product is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. I think we
But
should just
yeah,
leave it.
I do like the baseball joint though. It would bring rivalries back.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's a good
man.
idea.
Let's leave it there. Great conversation, fellas. I loved it. It was great. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.
Later.